Extender Configurator for Sage 300 allows you to configure logging, alerts and notifications, to configure workflow templates and track approvals, to create ORCID notes, and to create integration triggers to call custom code. This quick start concentrates on number 1, logging, alerts and notifications. In this quick start video for Extender, first we're going to download, install and activate Extender in our required company. We'll check our license, and then we're going to configure users logging into Sage 300. We're also going to configure our email settings so our alerts can send emails. To download Extender, go to orchid.systems, log in, and then go to the product downloads. Select the version you want, and then download the module. And once downloaded, run the install shield. Because I already have Extender installed on this machine, it's going to pick up my current license files details, but you would typically key those in. And then connect to the required Sage 300 company and activate Extender. And when you check your Extender license, you will see what version of Extender you're licensed to run, in this case Configurator, Customizer and Developer. And it will show you which users have been configured as Workflow users and Workflow Anywhere users if you have a Workflow Anywhere license too. In the Extender options, we need to configure on the Email tab your email server details, and this is for you to send emails from Extender. And I'm just going to paste them in to save some typing. And send a test email to verify your details. And while we're here, we can configure to log when users connect to Sage 300. We have just downloaded, installed and activated Extender in our company. We checked the license and we've configured Extender in the setup options to log when users log into Sage 300 and configured our email settings. We're now going to test the logging of users when they connect to companies, and we're also going to configure an event to track when users' log-on details change. Now that we've turned on logging in options, if we disconnect and reconnect to the same company, and either through the reports or the inquiry screen, if we look at the log, we will see that admin has logged in to this company on the 22nd at 1 o'clock and then again on the 22nd at 3 o'clock. The first logging event we're going to set up is to track who changes Sage 300 users. So we're going to set up an event called log, and this is going to log changes. We're not going to combine because we want to see each and every change that happens, and we're going to log the change. Once we've created the event, we can go to our view events and scripts and attach that event to the appropriate views. The first time you load up your view list, it will build a list of all the views. So that's all the views belonging to all the modules that are active in this company. And if we filter on the admin services views, we see that AS0003 is the Sage 300 user. and we're going to attach our logging event on the upsert event, which is whenever a user is inserted or updated. And you will just restart the desktop for that new view to take place. And then go to Admin Services and change one of our users. We'll remove changed from Anne's name. And then either in the reports or the inquiry of the logs, we can see the different logins. And now we see that the AS0003 view has changed. Anne's username was changed from Anne Fouché changed to Anne Fouché. And if we change more than one field at the same time, and here we're going to change both the username and the email to address, we see both the username changing and the email to changing. So one log record for each field that got changed. And that is because we said don't combine in the event type. In the next example, we're going to configure Extender to log the changing of an AR credit limit. We're going to do changes both on the web screens and the desktop screens, and we're going to view the log for the before and after values of the credit limit. Logged into the same company as Anne, we're going to use the same log event and attach it to the AR customer view. And this time we're going to attach the log event to the individual field. And the customer credit limit is the AMT CR limped field. And we're going to reconnect to the company so that the subclass view is active, and logged in as Anne, we'll go to the AR customer, customer 1200, and change the credit limit from 20,000 to 25,000. And now we can view that change through the log, but we can also use the hotkey to open up the change to. So at 551, and change the 1200's credit limit from 20,000 to 25,000. And logged into the web screens as Susan. If she goes to a different customer, and changes the credit limit from 10,000 to 20,000, back in the audit trail, we can see Susan changed customer 1500's credit limit from 10,000 to 20,000, and Anne changed the 1200's customer credit limit from 20,000 to 25,000. So when you're using a don't combine event, then the before and after image for every field is stored in the log. The next two examples are using EFT processing. First, we're going to log changes in EFT banks, but for this one we're not trying to keep track of the before and after images, we just want to know when the EFT bank record was amended. And the second one, we're going to send an alert to inform somebody when a new EFT vendor is inserted, so that they know to go back to the EFT vendor and make the record active so it can be used in EFT bank files. I have now activated EFT processing in this same company. And for the EFT banks, we want to keep track of whenever a bank record is changed in any way. So for that, we're going to create a new log event, which I'm going to call log combine, and select combine. So what this means is when any change happens to a record where we have a combine, then we just know that date and time who changed the record, not necessarily who changed what field from A to B. And this is useful for long records or records where you just want to know they've been amended. So in View Events and Scripts, we want to go and attach that log combine to the EFT Bank record, which is EL0001. And again, we're going to use the upsert event because we want to know either when it's inserted or updated. And this time we're going to choose the log combine. And logging in as Susan on the web screens, in EFT Setup Banks, for the bank record that has already been set up, we're going to change the account name and go ahead and save that record. And back in the extender logs, in the inquiries, we can see Sue has done a change to EL0001, which is the EFT Banks, and the record that was changed was CCB, and it's been updated. In this next exercise, we're going to configure Extender to send an email to Steve every time a new EFT vendor is created. So Steve knows to go ahead and activate the EFT vendor record. For this notification, first of all, we need a message template. So this is the email message template when an EFT vendor is created or amended. And just copying from Notepad to save typing. And we can include fields from the record that's being amended in both the email body and in the email subject. Then we need to create an event type. And this event type is to send an email. Who are we going to email? And the email message ID is our EFT vendor new and amend. Whether or not we want the user, as they do their creation or amendment, to be told of this alert, we'll say no. And then we attach our event to the appropriate view. An EFT vendor is EL0006. And again on the upsert, we're going to attach our new event, EFT vendor. Logging in as Susan. And going to create a new EFT vendor record for vendor 1200. Steve has received this new email saying that the EFT vendor record for chloride systems has been created by Susan and needs to be reviewed and activated. And the last type of notification we're going to do is using Extender Workflow. We're going to send a conditional email when an order is created, but only if the order is greater than $5,000. For this conditional email notification for large orders, we need an email message template. This is the email to be sent when a large order is created. And we're going to import a workflow template for these large order notifications. And this template can be downloaded from our website. And the workflow template starts. It has one step only. And when it starts, it sets the description. It sets the value of the variable to the invoice total, evaluates if that invoice total is greater than $5,000. If it is, it goes to step 40 and it sends Steve an email, that email template that we just saw. And if it's not greater than $5,000, it goes to 60. It sets the status to no email and completes. But if it does send the email, it then sets the status to email sent and then completes. And the workflow template is attached to the OE order header, to the insert of the OE order header. It runs the order notification workflow template and it goes into the start entry step. Logged in as Susan, we will create 2 orders. The first one for customer 1200. Of 1,000, giving us a total of 59,000, which exceeds 5,000. We just need to approve that. And we'll create a second order for customer 1500, and this time it'll be less than 5,000. In the extender workflow summary, we will see the 2 orders. The second one we entered, where the order total was less than $5,000, it was closed with the current status of no email being sent. The first one we did $64,000 and the email was sent. And if we check in Steve's email, we'll see he's got the email for order 67, customer 1200, Mr. Ronald Black. It's been created and the total amount before tax is $59,990. We have just had a look at using Extender Configurator Edition for logging, alerts and simple notifications. Please go to our website orchid.systems for more videos on other features of Extender Configurator for using more advanced workflows, for calling custom processes, and using Extender Configurator to create ORCID's notes.